We got lots of great questions this week, Ask Hennasooq series, about henna hair color, how it would come out, what does amla look like real amla powder, and what about using yogurt with your henna? So let's get into these great questions that you guys had. And my name is Khadija. I'm a leading henna hair color expert, Ayurvedic hair care specialist, and I do gorgeous henna and jago body art. And we got all the products, all the DIYs, all the regimen planning, like the everything you need for healthy hair care to get your hair, like whatever issue you're having with your hair, there's an herb for you. There is a remedy for you. So this is essential. You should have Ayurvedic hair care in your regimen 100%. Even if your hair is being chemically treated or processed, or wherever you are at with your hair, alopecia, any hair issues, naturally coloring your hair. And even if it's not that, like there is something for you, because wherever you're at, we're there with you. You can have healthy hair care using these great herbs, masks, treatments, and it doesn't have to be DIY. They could be the ready to use ones. So we got you fully covered. So you should be starting today. So let's get into these questions. So the first question that was asked was, how does yogurt affect the henna mix? So when you're using henna with yogurt, well, yogurt, first of all, is very cooling. It's very anti-inflammatory. It has a lot of benefits for the hair. It can be very moisturizing. It can be a little bit of protein, and it's very mild and gentle and soothing. So if you want something like that, those effects in your henna, and using henna for the strengthening as well, and getting all the benefits from henna, you could definitely use those two ingredients together. And remember, yogurt is perishable, so you're not gonna be letting it sit like overnight and all this other stuff, because that is kind of nasty. So don't do that. Mix your henna, maybe with a little bit of water just to get it kind of going, and then add in yogurt. I like to, personally, whenever I'm adding in a very heavy like butter or anything that I feel like gives the recipe a lot of stretch, I still like to use warm to hot distilled water to like mix it up a little bit, like mixing up that like henna, just to give it a little like start, and then I add in the ingredients that I like. The only exception, of course, is if you're using dry ingredients. If you put your dry, like baking, put all your dry together, mix that very well, and then you can start adding your wet ingredients and oils and essential oils and all that good stuff. That being said, when it comes to yogurt and henna, it's not a coloring recipe. Because yogurt is so heavy, it's gonna dilute it. Unless you want, a little bit of like an orangey, reddish, kind of coppery tone and you're cool with that, you could definitely do that. And this is to say that you may not avoid the color completely either in that method, but two great ingredients that you could add together, henna and yogurt for your next mask. The next question is this, saying, I am excited to try and color my hair naturally dark brown with 50% gray with henna, indigo, and cassia. But I watched a video regarding mold spores that live in indigo and how it has a potential to make you quite sick. And also some people have experienced hair loss with indigo. Have you come across this at all? I don't really like the thought of losing any more hair. And I feel you, none of us want to lose hair, especially as many of us are going into our 40s and 50s. For our older ladies in this, that are watching in our group here, we already kind of seeing our hair change and hormones. It's like we don't get a break as women. We just be going through everything. Everything, right? We just be going through everything. Indigo is safe to use. I personally have never experienced issues to that degree. I've never seen it with clients or whatnot. I definitely do feel though, when you're doing henna hair color in general, any of the coloring herbs or masks, sometimes it does loosen up the dead hairs. It happens for me when I'm in the shower. I have a lot more hair coming out when I'm doing, coloring treatments. It just happens, but it's not like hair loss. I'm not losing, I'm not going bald. So you're supposed to lose 50 to 75 hairs a day. It is shocking when it happens kind of, in the same moment, that you're like, what the heck? But remember, throughout the day when you're doing your hair, half of those hairs you do not see and notice that you're actually losing them, because you're not in the middle of manipulating and doing a mask and a treatment and coloring, and you're not in there manipulating your hair to loosen up those dead hairs in that moment, So yeah, so indigo, some people can be allergic to it. Honestly, I don't know if it has anything to do with mold spores or whatnot. I haven't experienced that. I'm not really too sure about that because we test all of our herbs before we get them in, and that hasn't been our experience. Like, we just really make sure that our herbs, henna, everything is vetted before we sell it to you guys, or even before we even import it. We are not taking anything that's going to be harmful to any of you. So yeah, so definitely just like any herb, do a patch test, make sure you're not allergic to it in general. But no, it should not make you sick. When it does, I would be very cautious and wonder like the quality of those particular herbs and what's going on with them, because not all farms have the same level of quality. We've been doing this since 2005, and I have vetted a lot of suppliers, a lot of farms, a lot of places to ensure that we're getting the best of the best right here at Hennasooq. What color should the amla powder be? Brown like cinnamon, or like the color of ginger powder? I see variations, but I don't know what pure amla powder should look like. When amla as a fruit, think about the fruit, right? Originally the fruit is like green, right? Green, and then they dehydrate it, and they go through certain processes depending on where you're getting it from and depending on the quality of that processing. We get ours in a very high quality processing of our amla. It's not supposed to look like a dark cinnamon type of tone. No, it should really look like a gingery, fresh color, and it should smell like tamarinds. And if you haven't smelled tamarinds before, you definitely should, because this is a delicious little fruit that's amazing in fish, by the way. Amla should smell really nice like that, kind of like sweet, and how do you describe the smell of tamarinds? It does really smell like that, but it just has a nice, sweet, fresh smell. Like, it shouldn't smell any other type of way, really. So, but in my opinion, from very high quality amla in all the years that I have been doing Ayurvedic hair care, and I've seen the variations, so I get exactly what you're saying. When they're doing high quality processing, those dried fruits are a very nice, like, kind of beige color. So therefore, when they grind that dried fruit, you can get it to be a nice kind of ginger type color. That's what really high quality amla powder should look like. And we do have a photo right on the amla powder page, right on our website, so you can actually see what our powder looks like and what you should expect, either in the dry form or the wet form. So check that out. And that goes for all of our Ayurvedic herbs and all of our henna and our indigo. We show you guys exactly what the dry powder looks like and what you'll see when it's wet as well. So you gotta check it out, all right? Thank you for tuning in. Remember, you gotta subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any of the great content that I have coming for you guys. And I will see you next time. Thank you again. Bye.